At our friend group dinner, my boyfriend showed up with his female assistant in tow. I didn't say anything, just ate in silence. The assistant, under the excuse of offering a toast, splashed red wine all over me. Oops, sorry. I didn't mean to, I'm such a clumsy little klutz. I looked at her, eyes glinting with provocation, and wiped the sticky red wine from my neck. Wow, you're really a hen tattooed on an eggshell. She batted her watery eyes. What does that mean? I dabbed my mouth. Means stop the damn act, one the whole table roared. Adrian ruffled my hair fondly. Mischief maker. Chloe's eyes reddened in an instant. Her lips pouted, her already large eyes filmed with mist, making her look heartbreakingly pitiful. Vance, look at her, I really didn't do it on purpose. You know how clumsy I usually am. Her artificial tone killed my appetite in a second. Adrian noticed I wasn't happy. He draped his jacket over my shoulders and helped me up. Sorry, Serena's dress is soaked. I'm taking her home. Everyone nodded understandingly. Ignored, Chloe's tears fell immediately. With a sob she called, Vance, are you abandoning me? I felt the arm around me tense. When I looked at Adrian, he acted as if he hadn't heard and said gently, let's go. Back home I scrubbed the stickiness off in record time. While he blow-dried my hair he kept glancing at his buzzing phone, opening his mouth and then closing it. Finally, as though he'd made up his mind, he pulled me close. Serena, I have to head back out. Leo says Chloe's squatting by the gate crying and they can't get rid of her. Total buzzkill. I caught the faint peach scent clinging to him and said calmly, Adrian, let's break up. He froze, then shook his head in helpless amusement. Don't be silly. I'll be right back. I took the dryer from his hand. I'm serious. If you walk out, don't come back. Only then did he study my face. You're mad? I shook my head. Not mad, just, for the first time, profoundly uninterested. You're definite. Ly mad. Every time you tell me not to come back, it means you're furious. Serena, be good. I'll be quick. He gave me a hurried kiss and was out the door. I stared at the shut panel and whispered, I'm not mad, and it's over. I knew he wouldn't return tonight. Lightning forked outside the windows. On Instagram was wearing an oversized dress shirt, posing with a crystal flute. A man's back moved in the kitchen. Caption, rainy days pair best with red wine. On the glass I could just make out the letters SXY, Adrian's custom pair flown in from Italy. One flute bore my initials, the other his. He'd told me they were mine alone, yet now another woman was holding mine. Gross, basically. Next morning my phone brimmed with missed calls and texts, every one from the same sender. I ignored them all. On Instagram had lined up an array of breakfasts, beside them a man's faceless torso kept fiddling with his phone. The phone case, my handmade one printed with my cartoon face. Caption, I said I hardly ever eat breakfast, and he called me a lazy little kitty. He hunted down every type of breakfast and told me to taste them all. But my tummy's tiny and I can't finish. He said it's fine as long as I'm full. Still, wasting food feels sad, doesn't it? My phone kept vibrating. The newest message read, still mad? At the office yet? Brought the breakfast you love. All night he'd cooked and fetched, still inside his own house. I didn't dare imagine what had happened between them. And after a whole night of silence from me, it never occurred to him to come check on me. My stomach churned. I swallowed the bile and simply blocked him for peace. I packed a small bag and drove to my parents'. Mom was startled to see me. What's wrong? No work today? Sick? She pressed a hand to my forehead. I burrowed into her arms. Not sick, just missed you guys. Dad looked me straight in the eye. Adrian mess with you? No. Dad, you mentioned opening a Riverdale branch, let me run it. Dad frowned. Why? The sudden change? Before, you insisted on grinding it out at Vance to learn the ropes. I know you wanted to stay close to that boy, but you're my daughter, you don't start in the mailroom. He gets to be CEO of his family's company while you slave away, scolded and side-eyed. What on earth do you see in it? Enough, dear. I just ache for our girl. I let go of Mom and rested my head on Dad's shoulder. I know you two hurt for me, so I've wised up. Being a lowly cog in someone else's machine can't beat being the boss of your own, right? Dad turned serious. You certain? Take this job and you'll be half a continent away from your Adrian. Dad, I've grown up, I can't orbit a guy forever. And I've wanted to spread my wings for ages, so relax. Mom squeezed my hands, relieved. Dad exhaled. Just then my work partner pinged me. Girl, get here now, stuff's hitting the fan. For when I reached the office Adrian was blocking my path, holding bags of the same breakfast I'd already seen on Instagram. Leo stood beside him. Didn't get to ask last night, why'd you double back and haul your assistant away? Adrian hesitated. Bringing her was a bad call, but I couldn't leave her sobbing on the curb. She kept texting, felt awful. So you dumped Serena at home? She was home, not abandoned. No big deal. Maybe to you. Serena doesn't do grains of sand in her eyes, don't bury yourself. Adrian shoved Leo. Cut it out. Serena's the only one I want. I just gave a coworker a ride home, nothing more. Leo answered with a cold laugh. I drew a steady breath and walked up. Adrian's eyes softened. Serena, you're here. Why'd you block me? Still mad? Look, I brought your favorite breakfast, don't sulk. I said nothing, brushed past him. Leo's voice drifted behind me. You're toast. She's actually furious this time. Adrian shrugged it off. No way. Serena could never stay mad at me. Another icy chuckle from Leo. Inside the department, my deskmate spotted me and teared up. Girl, what do we do? Our pitch deck, someone messed with it and sent it out. The client hit the roof. Manager just called, heads are gonna roll. I told her to slow down. She said the pitch deck we'd pulled an all-nighter on had been butchered, most ridiculously, a Hello Kitty sticker now glimmered on every slide. And somehow that version had landed straight in the client's inbox. The client was raging, convinced we were mocking them, and threatened to kill the contract. My mind clicked, someone had hijacked our deck and forwarded it. And the moment I heard Hello Kitty, I knew exactly who. Chloe, Adrian's little assistant whose phone case, key ring, and backpack charm were all Hello Kitty, was in the break room right then, brewing coffee and laughing with the girls around her. When she saw me walk in, she smiled sweetly. Serena, I'm so sorry about yesterday. The girl beside her shot me a look and hugged Chloe's arm. Why were you apologizing to her? She's a nobody. You're the CEO's assistant. If anyone ever messes with you, just tell us. You're too nice to fight back, so we'll do it for you. When I'd first joined the company, Adrian and I had kept our relationship quiet. Every office has its climbers and its bullies, and right now every one of them was circling Chloe like mother hens shielding a chick. I let out a short laugh. Seems to me I'm the one who should be pressing charges. My deskmate had already figured out who'd tampered with our pitch deck. She tugged my sleeve. Dada, let it go, okay? She's got Adrian wrapped around her finger. Last month a girl made one snide comment and he fired her on the spot. No severance, nothing. Just drop it. Worst case we get yelled at. I patted her shoulder. This isn't over. If we swallow this, we'll be the ones fired, no package, maybe even a bill for damages. The moment she heard that, my deskmate straightened up and pointed at Chloe. Was it you who messed with our pitch deck? Chloe blinked, a tiny smile flickering at the corner of her mouth. Then put on her timid act. No. I never touch other people's work. Serena, I know you don't like me, but you can't accuse me of something I didn't do. I was done watching the performance. Security footage covers every inch of this office. We'll know whether you touched it or not. Before Chloe could answer, the entourage chimed in. Chloe said she didn't, so she didn't. Your deck tanked and now you're looking for a scapegoat? I've seen this coming. Serena's jealous because Chloe spends time with Adrian. She keeps dropping by his office. Now that he's ignoring her, she's starting a catfight. Not satisfied with words, they shoved me. The instant a hand landed on my arm, a larger one caught the girl's wrist and flung it away. Adrian stepped between us, eyes on me. Are you hurt? What's going on? The break room fell silent, people scattering the second they saw him. Chloe, now exposed, looked momentarily lost, but she quickly bit her lip, eyes shining with unshed tears. Vance, I don't understand. Serena started shouting at me the moment she walked in. I don't even know what I did wrong. Adrian glanced at me. Serena, I was thoughtless yesterday. Could you please not take it out on her? I gave a cold laugh. Adrian, shut up. Chloe, you specialize in everything except acting human. I asked you straight, did you or did you not mess with our deck? Stop pretending you've got selective amnesia. Fine, I'll make it simple. Tiny brain, listen up. Chloe, did you touch my pitch deck? Her face was innocence itself. I didn't. A henchwoman jumped in, talking past me to Adrian. Vance, look at this, she's bullying Chloe right in front of you. Chloe already said no, and she still won't drop it. She even threatened to pull security footage, like the company belongs to her. You have to protect Chloe. Adrian moved to block me, his gaze stern. Was it you? Chloe looked at him, tiny and fragile. After a long pause she whispered, yes. So what? Their slides were gray and lifeless. I just added some color. I was trying to help. If they hate it they can change it back. Why humiliate me in front of everyone? It's not like I committed a crime. All because Adrian picked me up yesterday. She's using the office to get revenge. Her shameless reversal left me chuckling in disbelief. The same coworkers exchanged startled looks, but still mumbled, yeah, she's right. Adrian tugged my arm. Let it go. I laughed, out loud. Let it go? A mountain of blame lands on my head and you say let it go? Chloe, I swear I'd love to crack your skull open and see if there's a faucet inside. How do those 2 holes in your face keep leaking? You trash my pitch deck, I get penalized, and somehow I'm the villain? My mistake was clear. I should have handed you the file on a silver platter, let your canine brain repaint it, then knelt and thanked you, right? Enough. Adrian stepped in front of Chloe. Serena, you're being vicious. Vicious? Adrian, you've known me since kindergarten. I'm not carrying this bag of garbage. If my team gets a single reprimand or loses 1 cent because of this stunt, I'll torture Glass Palace myself. Oh, and I quit. Ignoring the stunned faces, I yanked my desk mate toward the exit. I'd taken 1 step when a hand closed around my other wrist. Serena, stop making a scene. I shook him off like something foul. Selective amnesia now? You 2 really are made for each other. Last night I said we're done. Do you need me to spell breakup, or should you ask your red wine date from the thunderstorm to explain it? And I don't eat leftovers. Keep that breakfast for the next rainy morning, you 2 can savor it together. Several strides later I thought I heard Leo mutter, Adrian, you're screwed. My desk mate fidgeted the whole way back to our desks, opening her mouth and closing it again. I regretted my outburst. Sorry, I might have dragged you into this. She shook her head. You and Adrian. Yeah. We're over. Shocking, right? Turns out we were a couple all these years. I hadn't seen it coming either. How long had we been together? For as long as I could remember, really. Back then he wasn't Adrian, and I wasn't Serena. I was the 7th kid at Riverdale, little Serena. He was the 4th, little Adrian. Riverdale was brutal. If you didn't fight, you starved. The weak got pummeled. Adrian was weak. I was one of the smallest, so they liked to pick on me. Soft-hearted Adrian would throw himself over me and take the beating. I cursed him for pretending to be noble, but he only gave his stupid grin. I hated that grin, hated the kindness that left me speechless. Then came a night of thunder and hurricane. The older kids locked me on the rooftop. Rain came in sheets, wind howled. I cowered against the parapet, terrified a gust would fling me over. Lightning cracked so close it felt like the sky split in my ear. A bolt struck the old oak in the courtyard, split the trunk, charred it, the flames sputtered out under the rain. I stared at the dead tree, paralyzed. 1 step, and that could have been me. Then Adrian, face bruised, nose bleeding, forced the door open. He ruffled my soaked hair and said, I'm here. I sobbed in his arms. After that I feared rain, thunder, lightning, and Adrian stayed with me every storm, covering my ears, wearing that same goofy, tender grin. From that day on I grew sharper, meaner. As we grew older, the bigger kids realized they couldn't beat me anymore, and they lost even more spectacularly at trading insults. For the first time since it opened, Riverdale finally knew peace. Then I turned 8, and Adrian was 10. A couple adopted me, my mom now. Mom said my temper was exactly like Dad's, so she had to have me. I clutched Adrian's hand and declared, if they wanted me, they had to take him too. After much coaxing, we each took a step back. They funded Adrian's schooling and picked him up every week for dinner. Those weekly rides led Adrian to his birth parents, who happened to be M's close friends. From that day on, I became Serena. He went back to being Adrian. We grew up side by side, childhood sweethearts, never imagining a third person could ever come between us. Until Chloe showed up. She was an orphan. For her, Adrian broke his own master's degree only hiring rule. I protested, he coaxed me, when I look at her, I see the little girl you used to be. After that, she always called Adrian during storms, shrieking with every thunderclap. Adrian said, Serena, I'll be right back. I asked, what about me? He ruffled my hair and tucked the blanket around me. You stopped being afraid long ago, Serena. You remember how terror feels, so let your kind Serena let me go. I neither nodded nor shook my head, but he still went. I was never the kind Serena, only the mean one. Friction with Chloe kept flaring. He would watch me with fond exasperation, then turn to comfort the poor little thing in his eyes. At first I neither understood nor accepted it, but Adrian knew exactly how to handle me. With one wounded, red-rimmed stare he could make me cave. He forgot, if I could conquer thunderstorms, I could conquer a life without him. Yet 20-odd years glued shoulder to shoulder had seeped into my bones and blood. I gave myself 1 month to be reborn. Adrian never bows, and neither does Serena. 7. Mom asked if I was still going to the Vance family dinner. I figured this might be the last one, so I nodded and said yes. Ever since Adrian was reclaimed, the two families had grown inseparable, meeting at least twice a month. And tonight Adrian was actually absent. I felt deliciously free. Still, the meat in my mouth tasted bland, so what, I swallowed it anyway. The annoyance arrived. Adrian walked in with Chloe trailing behind. Mom, Chloe said she's never had a family dinner, so I brought her. Then, as if nothing had happened, he winked at me and started to pull out the chair beside mine. I kicked it halfway across the room. I smiled apologetically at Mr. N. D. Vance, not wanting to make a scene. I told Adrian, if you sit beside me, where will your little guest sit? Adrian blinked, ruffled my hair. Our Serena always thinks of others. He dragged the chair back and sat opposite me with Chloe. She sneaked a timid glance at me, then dropped her eyes like a framed kitten. Mom murmured, this little girl is rather interesting. I chuckled. Interesting is one word for it. After the meal, Mom and the elder Vances lapsed into small talk. I sat bored, fiddling with my phone. Adrian leaned in beside me. Still mad? I scrolled. Nope. Still stubborn. That night the rain was insane. I didn't think you'd notice. She only crashed one night, I swear, nothing happened. I've been saving myself for you. I glanced at Chloe, who sat pale-faced nearby. No need to explain, our current relationship doesn't require explanations. Before Adrian could reply, Chloe burst into tears. The four parents stared, bewildered. She sobbed, Serena, it's all my fault. I didn't mean to alter your pitch deck, I was thinking of the company. Vance works so hard, and you two keep quarreling. I wanted to help, but my good intentions messed things up. Please stop blaming him, he's a good man and doesn't deserve this. I came tonight to apologize. Last time you humiliated Vance in front of everyone because of me. Please forgive me and stop fighting with him. With that, she bowed 90 degrees. Quite the speech. Everything she did was kindness, while I throw tantrums daily and sabotage Adrian's work. Mutes aren't this articulate, simpletons aren't this creative. Mr. and Vance studied us with questioning eyes. Mom took my hand. Young lady, are you saying you changed my daughter's work without permission? And are you implying my daughter is unreasonable, or that Adrian can't do his job? Straight for the jugular, love it. Chloe stiffened, then cried harder. No, ma'am, you misunderstand. Serena, I envy you. No matter what you do, your parents protect you. Unlike me. Alone since childhood. Alone since childhood, Adrian's face filled with pity, as though he hadn't heard a word she'd said before. Mom opened her mouth again, I stopped her. Chloe, I let you off once, and now you double down. You trashed my pitch deck and the client wants out, why skip that part? You say I hinder Adrian, everyone at the office knows you're the apple of CEO Adrian's eye. Who am I to distract His Highness? And please, spare me the tears. I've never seen anyone cry so cleanly, no snot, perfect control. A true emotion management master. Curious gazes swung from me to Chloe. Flustered, she looked at Adrian, who stared as if he'd discovered a new continent and whispered in my ear, Serena, you're jealous. Jealous of your, I almost cursed out loud. Let's call it a misunderstanding. Chloe apologized. Serena, stop pouting and come back to work tomorrow. At that, Chloe stared at me with a mixture of resentment and restraint. I was baffled. No thanks. I'm not stepping foot in that company again. I turned to Mom. I'll head home now. Nice seeing you, Mr. and Vance. Mom nodded. The moment I stepped outside, Adrian chased after me. All right, Serena, enough. I know you're jealous. He reached to ruffle my hair out of habit, but his hand met only air. We're broken up. Don't do anything unnecessary. He snorted a laugh. Serena, don't say childish things. Even angry you're adorable. We can't live without each other. You are my life. If you truly want to leave, take my life with you. He pressed my palm to his chest, the familiar heartbeat burned my hand. I pulled free. Adrian, you just left Chloe alone with our moms. Guess how she's feeling, crying at the gate again, snot and tears waiting for you. He paused. See? Still jealous. I like you jealous, but don't overdo it. I gave him a half smile. Sure you don't want to go back and check? I was testing, curious how far he could discard me. Sure enough, he kept glancing back. After an internal tug-of-war he said, Serena, go home and wait for me. I'll drop Chloe off, then come to you. Oh, and unblock me on WhatsApp. Don't keep blocking me, it hurts. He kissed my fingertips lightly, then walked away. I wiped my fingers as I watched him leave. Adrian, goodbye. Tonight I'm leaving this place for good. The moment the flight touched down, a damp wind rolled in and rinsed the weariness off my skin. The instant I powered my phone back on, a rush of notification pings crashed over me. I ignored every unknown number and texted Mom that I'd landed safely. Days slid by. Strange numbers and messages still flashed up now and then. I deleted and blocked them without a second glance. The Riverdale satellite office finally started to look like something real. One night I came home, showered, and was lying on the bed when my best work buddy pinged me. I can't take it anymore, I'm quitting. I typed back, what happened? The typing bubble pulsed forever. Finally, it's Chloe. She's turned into a totally different person, acts like she already owns the company. All that fragile damsel stuff? Performance. Now she's bossing everyone around, throwing her weight like she's the queen. Dance's brain must be offline. He lets her run wild and barely shows his own face. He dropped in once, looked like he hadn't slept in a week. Dada, do you think your breakup wrecked him? Yet he's all cozy with Chloe. Men, who knows? Anyway, you okay? Find a new gig yet? I knew exactly what she was imagining, but I no longer cared enough to explain. Buddy, I'm not in Riverdale anymore, I'm in Shanghai. If you want out, come here. The pay and perks are unreal. Hell yes. Even if you were on Mars, I'd grab a rocket. I'd barely set the phone down when Leo called. I hesitated. Leo, the driver's son who'd practically grown up guarding Adrian and me like a big brother. I picked up. His anxious voice burst through. Serena, where are you? Adrian's half crazy looking for you. I was quiet for a second. Is he with you? Yeah. But he's trashed. Won't stop saying your name. In the background I could still hear Adrian shouting for me. It's fine. Put me on speaker. Once I heard the click I drew a slow breath and spoke loud enough for both of them. Adrian, save the wounded puppy act. I know how much you can drink and what drunk looks like on you. Whatever you hoped this call would do, the answer's still the same, we're over. I hung up. The phone rang again, I declined. Rang, declined. Finally I answered once more and said only, Leo, don't make me block you too. Silence at last. 9 The day I went to the airport to pick my friend up, my right eyelid twitched. Sure enough, the second we finished hugging I spotted Adrian nearby, eyes rimmed red. My friend clutched my arm. I didn't tell him, I swear, I had no idea. I patted her shoulder. I know. Honestly, he took longer than I expected. Why the delay? Because he still couldn't believe I'd walk away from everything we'd built. I got her settled, then turned to Adrian, who'd followed us the whole way. A month had shaved pounds off him. The instant my gaze met his he blurted, Serena, are you still mad? You've stayed angry so long this time, I'm scared. His trademark pitiful look slid into place, but my pulse stayed flat. Let's sit, I said. I took him to the Instagram famous cafe I frequent and ordered a vanilla gelato. Adrian frowned. Serena, you can't eat vanilla. I held his stare. I can. Stop being stubborn, you hate vanilla. One bite and you throw up. Get strawberry. The server looked at me. Vanilla, I repeated. Adrian, I finally know what I like, and what I don't. He didn't believe me, until he watched me spoon the ice cream up with zero drama. His face went chalk white. Serena, come home, okay? Stop this. I miss you so much. We're broken up. No, that was just you lashing out. I meant every word. Adrian finally registered the calm in my voice. His own cracked. Why? Because I let Chloe crash one night? Or because I bought breakfast? I told you, I pitted her. Don't be so harsh. I set my fork down. Harsh? Adrian, if anything I've been too soft. Soft? Serena, you know yourself, bossy, volatile, throwing tantrums over nothing. People have complained for years, yet I still chose you. How can you scrap 20+ years with a single sentence? I won't accept it. You'll regret this. 24 years can't be erased because you're in a snit. I was planning to propose this Christmas, snow, fireworks, the whole fantasy you wanted. I booked the restaurant, ordered your favorite flowers, even started renovating the house the way you sketched it. Then you vanished over one lousy breakfast for an orphan. I can't accept it. You are not breaking up with me. While he raged, I answered in a voice like still water. So I'm domineering and cruel, and Chloe is gentle and sweet? I'm 25. I might live to 80 or 100. Next to a century, what's 25? I met you in the first quarter of my life. What makes you think the remaining 75 won't hand me someone truer? He stared, stunned. Are you seeing someone? Is that why you're here? because he's here? Adrian, the one who transferred their feelings is you. 10 before he could defend himself I went on. A month ago, in that thunderstorm, I stood outside the office and watched your car glide past with Chloe inside. He rushed to explain, you know how she freaks out over thunder, I was just dropping her home. I lifted a hand. Listen. I couldn't get a ride. The guard lent me a folding umbrella. I arrived home half soaked. Maybe it was late, maybe the street was too quiet, but I realized someone was tailing me. Their footsteps sped up. I heard them joke about tying rocks to my ankles once they caught me, laughing that ugly laugh. I ran until I couldn't breathe, lost the umbrella, the rain soaked me, one shoe gone. I squeezed into an alcove. They prowled back and forth. I counted the passes while lightning lit the alley. Terrified they'd spot me curled up there. I stayed hidden until dawn, when a janitor found me shaking like a stray dog. I thought the rain had killed my phone, but when I got home it worked perfectly. Not one call, not one text. Since that night I'm afraid of storms again. By the time I finished Adrian was sobbing, clutching his hair, eyes swollen. Why didn't you tell me? You carried all that alone. I smiled. I did tell you. I said thunder suddenly scared me again. Remember your reply? You told me to stop acting like a child. Adrian, you abandoned me first. I didn't, I just never thought it was real, I just. I finished the sentence for him. You just let the lace-trimmed damsel dazzle you. I'm overbearing, savage, and mean, she's sweet, obedient, and looks at you like you hang the moon. She shares the same past as me, only she's even more pitiful. At least I got lucky, Mom found me, I got my salvation. So you pity her, you want to save her. Feels good to be someone's hero, doesn't it? Adrian was sobbing too hard to speak. He tried to explain, but the words strangled in his throat. That's enough, Adrian. The moment you chose her the first time, our future vaporized. Before I walked out, I glanced back at his trembling silhouette. Actually, you were my hero once too. 11 Adrian didn't leave. He took an entry-level job at my company. Every morning he bought me breakfast, the way he used to. On stormy nights he stood outside my door till sunrise. When clients tried to make me drink, he drained every glass for me. When I nailed a presentation, his eyes reddened with pride before mine did. I acted as if none of it existed, and still he refused to give up. Then Vance called. She said Vance was sick, worn out, and begged me to let Adrian go. Vance had never liked me. She was grateful I'd helped find Adrian, but in her eyes I remained a parentless orphan unworthy of her reclaimed son. I handed the phone to Adrian. When he said he wouldn't go back, I slapped his face so hard his head snapped sideways. Vance, don't worry. He'll go home. Adrian stared at me and said, I'm not going. I said, remember at the orphanage? We promised that if anyone ever adopted us, we'd love them twice as hard for giving us a family. Adrian, that's your real father. Stop making the wrong choices and losing the people who matter. Adrian left. My life finally regained its quiet. The quiet lasted exactly 2 months. Mom called. Adrian tried to kill himself. 12 I got off the flight and Mom picked me up. In the car she said, 2 nights ago the hurricane rolled in. Somehow Chloe got to the Vance house and argued with Adrian. Vance says the second thunder cracked, Adrian looked possessed, he shoved Chloe aside, ran to the rooftop, and jumped. Chloe went crazy and jumped right after him. You know our place, only 3 floors, front lawn beneath. Adrian should have been fine, but he ended up Chloe's human cushion, shattered ribs and leg bones. Chloe? Barely a scratch, just a skinned knee. I drew a sharp breath. Chloe really was Adrian's curse. Mom added, as if reading my mind, I can see you two are done. And I want you to stay done. I like the boy, but that temperament doesn't suit you. I nodded so she'd stop worrying. At the hospital I met Chloe first, sniveling by the bed, tears streaming. Mr. and Vance sat on the couch, a decade older than the last time I'd seen them. Adrian lay corpse pale, eyes fixed on the ceiling, ash gray. Irritation flared. Adrian, do you want to die? The moment he heard my voice, light exploded in his eyes. Serena, you came back. I knew you couldn't let go. I repeated, Adrian, do you want to die? He froze. Chloe suddenly went berserk, shoving me. You're the one who wants to die, your whole family wants to die. Why did you come back? You ruined him, and you still dare show your face? Slap. Chloe clutched her cheek. You hit me? I'll fight you. Stop. Adrian tried to shield me, tumbled off the bed, white with pain. Say. Rena, are you okay? Chloe couldn't believe it. You're still protecting her? Can't you see she doesn't care if you live or die? She spun on me. Serena, why do you get everything? You're mean and domineering. Why do you have a happy family? Why do you have Adrian? You don't deserve him. I'm better for him. Without you, he would have loved me long ago. Adrian roared, shut up. I could never love you. My heart only has room for Serena. I raised a hand. You call me bossy and cruel, do you know why? Without my cruelty your precious CEO would have starved. Didn't know Adrian came from the orphanage too, did you? Soft temperament, sweet to everyone, never threw a punch, never cursed. Prime bullying material. I was the one who snatched food from older kids and stuffed it into his mouth. I was the one who turned into a rabid animal when they hit him, shielding his kindness with my fists. You say I'm unworthy? Then tell me, what's your claim? Keeping him company through a few thunderstorms, delivering a couple of breakfasts? Newsflash, he's been doing that for me for 20 years. Chloe gaped at Adrian. He said, you reminded me a little of the young Serena, that's all. I felt sorry for you. Nothing more. Chloe lunged, sobbing, impossible, you were gentle, you must have felt something. Adrian laughed bitterly. Yeah, I hate myself for that fake kindness. You're nothing like her. If you weren't an orphan, if you weren't afraid of thunder, I wouldn't have glanced twice. You're foolish and affected, how could you compete with even a speck of my Serena? Huh. Even he knew, yet he'd enjoyed the attention, hadn't he? Vance dragged Chloe out before she could scream again. I looked into Adrian's pleading eyes. I fought to stay alive, and you tried to throw yours away. I despise you for that. I'm sorry. I just didn't know how to live without you. I enunciated every word. Then figure it out. But if you die, I won't attend your funeral. I turned and left. Behind me Rian cried, Serena. I didn't look back, wiping the corner of my eye. Goodbye, Adrian. Back home I collapsed into bed, 6 hours on a plane had drained me. When I woke, a message waited, I'm sorry. I'll live properly. Block, delete. That same day I flew back to Shanghai. I was swamped, the company was pivoting. I had zero time for pointless romance. Adrian still messages me daily, weather reports, what he ate, how vanilla tasted better than he expected. I stopped blocking him, he just borrows new numbers to talk to the air. Mom says after he healed he returned to Vance. He visits often, sits in my old room for hours. He even bought the little house I lived in. I'll wait here until Serena comes back, he claims. But I'm never going back. My life is just beginning. I plan to live to 80, maybe 100. Time's too tight to spare him another second.